Hello, dear students. I'm Dr. Kapil Chaturvedi, Associate Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Sagar Institute of Research and Technology, Sage Group, Bhopal. And today we will discuss our topic automation through software environment under Module 1, Lecture 4. So, first of all, we should have to understand what is automation through software environment. So process automation provides a means to integrate people in a software development organization with the development process and tools supporting that development. This new technology may significantly improve software quality and development productivity. However, as there is little practical experience in its day-to-day use. So the meaning of these all thing, automation through software environment, it means as we discuss our subject project management. So now no project management is manual right now. The most of the processes are automated. There are some tools or softwares are available in the market which monitor and manage the software activities. So we are discussing on that in this topic. So the process automation provides a means to integrate people in a software development organization with the development process and the tools supporting that development. So the tools suggest that how much time required for the software development of that particular kind of module and how much you are taking actually. So that suggests how much, in which time you will have to complete that software. So there are some phases for automation through software environment. There is a workflow, and this is environment tools and process automation. So the workflow is management, environment, requirements, design, implementation, assessment, and deployment. So basically we try to understand these things. We see that the workflow management, it means first of all, workflow automation and matrix automation, it means we'll have to understand what is the management, how is the actual management process. Environment, it means what is the environment behind of that project, what kind of management we have to change, and what kind of document we will have to automate. It means what kind of management we require in the software, and what kind of documentation automation we require. It means we take an example of document manual process where each and every authority forward one document to the another higher authority. So if we are implementing a software, then we'll have to think about that. What will be the process of forwarding that document from lower to upper process management. Requirement management, it means we'll have to focus on what kind of requirement, how we manage that. Design, it means we'll have to implement and focus on the visual modeling. It means what kind of tools, what kind of models, what kind of diagrams, what kind of data flow diagrams, what kind of Gantt chart, what kind of flow charts we will have to manage. Implementation, it means that step of implementation, the management tool will focus on the editor, compiler, and debugger. As you implement when you implement a code in the computer. So main thing is that your source code, then editor where we implement your code, a compiler which compile or debugger which compile or translate or convert your program into the machine language. So how we manage that. Assessment, it means assessment tool is most important in whole managerial process, where the testing automation and defect tracking, it means here mainly focus our software will be focus on the different code you are generating, that code is proper or not, where defect is found, and how it will defect the tracks, and how test the code, and how rectify that code. And deployment uh, is a process which is the final phase of software process, where software will be deployed on the client side, and continuously defect tracking will be go on. And in the whole process, this thing will be keep in mind. Process organization policies should not change. uh, when any organization adopt a software, the organization policy will not change, would not change. And life cycle, inception, elaboration, construction, and transition, it means as we discussed the SDLC steps, where recognition of need, analysis, feasibility study, uh, design, implementation, post implementation, and testing phase. uh, we are representing these life cycle phases in 4 steps: inception, elaboration, construction, and transition. Where inception is a conception phase, where analysis, recognition of need, and design phase will be go on. Elaboration, it means final designing will be constructed. And construction, it means development. And transition, it means deployment. So this is the workflow. And now we discuss these terms in detail. Then uh, management, there are several opportunities and changes available for automation of project planning and control activities of management workflow. For creating planning artifacts, several tools are useful, such as software cost estimation tool and work breakdown structures tools. Workflow management software is an advanced platform that provides flexible tools to improve way you work in an effective, efficient manner. So there are some terms which we have to discuss. So the management, it means here we are using the term management workflow. So workflow is understood term for creating planning artifacts, several artifact for creating planning artifacts. So the term artifact, it means documents. Several tools are useful, such as software cost estimation tools and work breakdown structures. Work breakdown structure, it means some points which we have where we have to analyze, evaluate our software. Environment, it means automating development process and also developing an infrastructure for supporting different project workflow are very essential activities of engineering stage of life cycle. Environment that generally gives and provides process automation is a tangible artifact that is generally very critical to life cycle of system being developed. Even top level work breakdown structure recognize environment like first class workflow. Integrating their own environment and infrastructure for software development is one of main tasks for most of software organizations. So environment says that we'll have to implement the tangible artifacts. It means tangible documents uh, to go on the next steps. Requirements management is a very systematic approach for identifying, documenting, organizing, and tracking changing requirements of a system. It is also responsible for establishing and maintaining agreement between user or customer and project team on changing requirement of team. So if we are going on the software based automation, then we'll have to find out and gather the requirements. This is very important phase, because if you don't know the requirement of the customer, then you cannot manage and cannot make automate system for a software environment. Design, workflow design is actually a visual depiction of each step that involves in flow from start to end. Basically, I'm giving you the official definition of these terms. We discussed that theory in the diagram, what is design, and different steps. So we know very well that what is design, but the official definition says that workflow design is actually visual depicts of each step that is involved in a workflow from start to end. It generally lays out each and every task sequentially and provides complete clarity into how data moves from one task to another one. As in DFD, we see that how our step will be go on. how our software will process, what kind of steps we'll have to follow to achieve a step. Workflow design tools simply allow us to depict different tasks involved graphically, as well as also depict performs, timelines, data, and other aspects that are crucially executions. So some of the diagrams other than DFD will explains how we reach the timeline and the expectations of the customer. Implementation, we know very well that implementation is a phase where we implement actual softwares, where some of the important tools are editor, compiler, and debuggers. The main focus and purpose of implementation workflow are to write and initially test software. It relies primarily on programming environment, editor, compiler, debugger, etc. What, on other hand, it should also include substantial integration along with changes managed tools, visual modeling tools, and test automation tools. This is simply required to just support in iteration to be productive. It is main focus on construction phase. The implementation simply means to transform design model into execution one. It means as per our design models, we have to implement logic in our coding or programming in programming language. Assessment and deployment uh, is a phase where actual testing is carried out. Workflow assessment is initially a step to identifying outdated software process and just replace them with most effective process. This generally combines domain expertise, quantitative and qualitative information gathering and collection properties, tools, and much more. So we know very well that assessment is phase basically is for testing. So this is officially phases we discussed theoretically as shown in the diagram. So we discussed these terms in journal and in formal way. So this is automation through software environment, because now as we say that in the last lecture, and I'm saying again, you want to say that now each and every process is automated. Each and every process we want to be automated. Artificial intelligence logics are used, machine learning logics are used. So now in today's uh, life, software industry want to be automated. Once software developed or in the process of the software development, each and every phase of related to the software management should be automated. So this is our topic. Thank you.